this a ticket. Talking market for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
Alright, so I know I'm wearing a different outfit, different hair. That's because the dang camera either deleted, didn't record it, or the camera died when I was recording it last time, a few days ago. So I'm re-recording the first part of this video. I'll insert the other footage I do have toward the middle. And yeah, this is my first time ever having to do this. I feel like a real YouTuber now. Yeah. Thank you. I'm doing it for you guys. I'm doing it for you. All 21 of you. Y'all keep me going. But yes, I'm gonna re-record the first part and yeah, just hang in there with me. Thank you, bye. This video is about my first and only bad Tinder date, my only Tinder date so far. I just started trying to get out there and date again, and I know they say the dating pool is full of pee, but I would take that over them streets, these dating streets, man. They got potholes, it's crackheads on every corner, traffic lights don't work, all kinds of mixed signals. It's terrible. I haven't dated in a long time. Like, I haven't met anybody that I really liked in a really long time. But like, I don't know, I just figured why not, you know. So I'm gonna try to remember the order in which I said everything. Basically just tell you the first half of that happened. So if you're returning, thank you, love you guys. If you're new here, I know I skipped over all of that. If you're new here, I'm not Ema Brianna, owner and creator of Dressed in Black. And yeah, stick around, subscribe. I'm gonna just be telling you what had happened because it's a whole mess. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I just got on Tinder. Only been on there at that time for about a week, right? Before that, I was on Bumble. It was okay, but I didn't kind of like the fact that the women had to approach the guy like, we have to communicate first. So if we match up with him, we gotta send a message first, and I kind of didn't like that because the guys on there already, you can kind of tell, like, if a guy's on Bumble, he not the kind for me. If you can't approach me and be like dominant in the situation, you know what I mean? We not gonna make it. We ain't gonna make it. I'm gonna walk right on over you. You ain't gonna have no spine, and I can't deal with that. Or I don't want you to feel like I'm chasing you. Like, no, we're not doing that. So I switched over to Tinder, and those conversations weren't going anywhere. Like, you would message a guy and then you do the hey, how are yous, you know, what you up to, what do you do, what brings you here, what you looking for, all that. So eventually it just go dead, or the vibe just is not there, and then you have to end up blocking them. And I'm like, I don't want to do that no more. Like, I don't want to waste more energy than what is necessary. So I switched over to Tinder. I never had a Tinder before then. I don't think I have. I had a POF. I was going back and forth on there a few times with no luck. Those were the worst dates. If I can remember, I think I have a few stories. POF is absolutely at the bottom. But yeah, I ain't going no dates on Bumble. I met some girls on there. That's a different story. Not like dating or nothing, but just they had Bumble BFF for friends. And I was trying that out, but that ain't really worked for me. The things that I normally would look for when dating online, or just things I'm not looking for, let's say that. I don't want to swipe on you if A, you have kids. I don't have kids, and it's just weird, you know. And then, you know, I used to didn't care about stuff like that, but then, like, I literally went on a date with a dude and his baby mama blowing his phone up because she probably knew he was on a date, and then all of a sudden something wrong with the kid, and then he had to leave. I'm like, see, yeah, no, we not doing this every day. Like, if I can never get a full, like, conversation with you, I can't ever just sit and talk to you because there's always gonna be some drama, or no, I can't do it, especially if it's a little baby. That's too fresh. And I don't like people with blank profiles. You can't just have your name, your age, and the town you in, which half the time on Tinder, they're not even in that same area. They might have been driving through here, but they really live in Missouri or some shit. And I'm like, it just don't make no sense to me. So I gotta really read thoroughly through everybody's profile, right? Well, no kids, no blank profile. I don't like the cocky. I don't want no big girl. I don't want, if you a bad communicator, if you bitter, I mean, I've seen some profiles and I'm like, how dare you? Like, first of all, there will be nobody left if everybody fit this criteria. Like, who are you looking for? That person don't exist. And then you got the guys who are clearly just there for sex, but I mean, at least they make it known. And then you have the guys who, well, I mean, they might be okay. They okay looking. They got normal personalities. They don't look murdery or anything. You hit them up, but then the conversation goes nowhere. So I did something I normally wouldn't do because I kept doing what I've been doing and I ain't got no results. I mean, I don't think I'm the best dater, but I ain't think I was the absolute worst dater either. But I'm gonna call him, I forgot his real name. I'm gonna call him Dre. I don't think that was his name. I'm gonna call him Dre. His profile comes up. He's so not the type I would ever go for, like look wise. And the profile was just blank with just his pictures, his age, his name, and his location. And the location, I was like, perfect because it's not too far away. We around the same age. He a little older. No big deal. I think I don't know if his Instagram was connected. I don't think it was. But I do normally ask for that too, just to see like what's on there, you know. It just helps give a fuller picture of who the person is, you know. And so I messaged him. I don't remember what I said. Now I wish I would have kept all this stuff. But I unmatched and deleted and blocked and all that stuff. So I don't have anything to show y'all, unfortunately. But just use your imagination. He was good looking. Just not normally my type. But I'm like, let me just try something different. Maybe he's not good with words. So I think he messaged me first, I believe. And he said, hey. And I'm like, oh, here's a red flag. This nigga don't fucking talk. Okay. And I think I put something sarcastic like, oh, you have such a way with words. Like, some shit like that. And he laughed. And yeah, we went back and forth. We talked a little bit. Another thing I don't like is when somebody try to hurry up and get me off the app and get my phone number. I'm like, that's what the app is for. For us to talk. If you don't want to talk on the app, then why did you make the profile? And then complain that you don't do social media. I ain't really on here like that, you know. Then why did you make a Tinder? Are you trying to meet people or not? Like, and if you can't respect my boundaries because you might be a weirdo, and then I have to figure that out, and then still block you, and then but you still have my number, and then you'll call me from a different number, which has already happened. Like, I don't want to go through all that. So let's just stay on the app until we can figure out who we are to each other. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't get that vibe from him, so I'm like, all right. I added him on social media, got my number, all of that stuff. It was cool. We FaceTimed, I think. No, we didn't. We didn't FaceTime yet. Our first time FaceTiming was awkward, but we'll get to that. So we're talking, we're getting to know each other. He's revealing that he has kids. I'm like, okay. Obviously, that wasn't his profile because it was a blank ass profile. And I'm like, well, I guess, you know, they're not babies, so I guess it's okay. Yet again, just trying to be open-minded. And then, you know, one thing is like, I don't want to just text back and forth for weeks just to not really get nowhere, because you can't really catch somebody vibe just by texting. Like, it's just not the same. So I'm like, let me just see him. Let me just rip off the band-aid. I just want to see him. So I was going to a comedy show with my aunt that night. We had just been talking for, I think, 3 days, something like that. Maybe not even 3 days. And I was like, well, he don't live too far from me. You know, he can just come through I know it's last minute or whatever, but who don't like a comedy show? And then I get to see you in front of a whole bunch of people. So I feel a little bit safer, you know what I mean? It's not like a date, but we just get to meet each other and see each other, have a good time, see if there's a connection there. So I invite him. I think I texted him the link and everything, and I think we had talked on the phone, and I was like, well, if you ain't doing nothing. And he got off work around 3, and you know, I'm thinking he getting ready to come, you know, get ready or whatever to meet me. Now he told me that he worked over across town, so I'm like, well, it must take him some time to get back over here. But you know, he get off at 3, the show not till 7. That should be plenty of time, I'm thinking. So what had happened was, it's like 6 o'clock, I'm getting ready. I'm like wondering, like, where are you? Like, are we gonna meet up there? Or are we gonna meet up like at my house? Something like that. And I'm trying to see like where he is in his journey to get here, pretty much. So we texted back and forth. And the thing that really pissed me off is it was the eagerness that he pretended. Oh yeah, I ain't seen a comedy show in forever. I could really use a laugh. You know, whew, I love me some comedy, you know, like just doing the most. So I'm like, oh, okay, it's gonna be a good night. You know, he like the same stuff I like. Tell me why this nigga, it had to be 6:30. I was about to leave out. I'm thinking he making his way to the spot or whatever. And then I see him on Instagram Live, and I'm like, maybe he just going live getting dressed. Maybe he's showing people his outfit. Like I don't possibly know what he could be doing. Like I don't know the guy. I don't know if he's like an influencer. I don't know what the fuck he do. He had a lot of like selfies. He was definitely into himself, but he did look like the type, you know, light eyes, light skin. And I was like, that's why I don't date certain kinds of people. But let me not try to generalize all of y'all, but that's why I stay away from certain kind of guys. But I'm like, what could it, like, what, why is he on live? Because we texting this whole time. So I'm like, what? Tell me why I click on it. And he is in his house clothes playing the damn PlayStation. Probably call it a damn duty. Probably. I'm like, the fuck? And I was like, you know what, maybe he get dressed quick. You know, a lot of niggas get dressed quick. You know, they just throw something on and then be out the door. I'm like, well, maybe that's what he about to do. Like, so I texted him like, oh, never mind, you seem busy. So I see him on the live, look at his phone, get up, and then cut it off. And then he calls me. And then that's the first time we FaceTime. And I'm like, hey, the fuck is up? Like, what are you doing? Are you coming or not? He's like, oh, well, yeah, I really wanted to. You know, I was trying to. But, you know, I'm over town. I'm across town. I stay with my father. I was like, what? But you said you lived over here. He was like, yeah, well, because I work over town, across town. I stay with my dad during the week. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, well, I'm just, I know y'all know that meme with the lady with the math equations. Like, that's the way I felt. I was like, okay, all right. Why didn't you just say that? Like, why you got me up here asking the people, oh, can I get another ticket? I'm like, well, how much will it be for another ticket? Do we gotta put his name on the list? Like, I'm over here like really thinking you coming, and you not. Like, you did not move an inch. You knew this since before 3 o'clock that you weren't coming. So what the fuck was all of this? Oh yeah, I could really use a laugh. Da, da, da. Like, what was all of that? And I'm like, I get it that it was last minute, and then you don't want to come all the way because it was a Thursday. You don't want to come all the way over here just to go all the way back over there because you got to work the next day. Like, I totally get that. But I'm like, why didn't you just say that? And you on live. Like, did you forget we friends on Instagram? Are you like... But anyway, yeah, he was like, well, you know, I can make it up to you. I can take you out tomorrow. We can meet up this weekend. And I'm like, now I don't even know if I want to meet him because you seem kind of like dishonest. Like, you be hiding shit, and I don't understand. Like, you be playing. Like, he was like 35, something like that. I'm like, you too old. I'm too old for the games. Oh, but I was so mad. Like, that was the most tense FaceTime I've ever had in my life. I was like, this is what people with baby fathers probably feel like. I was over it, but I'm like, you know what? Let me give him one more chance. Let me just give him one more chance, right? So we make plans for Friday, Friday, one of them days. The day after Thursday. One of them days. So I think it was Friday though. But anyway, so we make plans to meet up at Dave & Buster's. Now, anyone who knows me know I love Dave & Buster's. If I'm gonna go on a date, normally I choose to do something active like play pool, you know, go to Dave & Buster's, go bowling. Because, I mean, sitting down at a movie, you can't really talk to the person and it's cold. Going to eat is cool, I guess, but you don't really get... I like to be interactive, I guess. That's just me. Because we gonna eat regardless, but I like to be interactive and just have fun. Like, I want to see your skills, you know? So, that was the move. He said, fine, yeah, sure, whatever. We hang up, I go out, we text the rest of the night. He tells me a little bit more. Well, me and my aunt kind of grilled him a little bit about his birthday, and who your people is, and all that good stuff. But he was a good sport about it. So I was like, oh, okay. He seems nice. He seems more open and honest than he was previously today. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe it was just a fluke. So the next day comes. I'm a little tired, but it was fine. You know, I just had a long night. You know, I went out to the comedy club, so I was out kind of late. I ain't go to bed till late, but when we were talking on the phone, I was like, you know, I'm a little tired, but I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna get dressed and get ready to go. So why this nigga pull we ain't gotta go, you know, we can replan it, we can reschedule. It's something in the back of my mind was like, why is he saying this? Because if he really want to see me, he gonna try to convince me. He gonna be like, girl, get you some energy, get you a coffee. Come on, you young, get up. None of that. It was quick too. It was we don't have to go. I'm like, like it caught me off guard. I was like, I'm fine. I'm okay. Like, I'm really okay. I just took a little nap. I'm getting up. You know, I'm gonna be okay. And then he hit me with because, you know, for real, do it gotta be like Dave & Buster's? Because my check ain't really looking how it's supposed to be looking. I'm like, oh, God. Again, my check ain't looking. You knew when you made the date probably how much you were gonna get paid based on how many hours you worked, right? Now, all of a sudden, your check ain't looking the way it's supposed to be. You know, and it's like... He pulled up, you know, because I got paid my phone bill, my mama phone bill. I'm like, what that got to do with me? A. And B, don't you pay that every month? Like, I'm confused how you didn't do the math in your head already before you decided to take a woman out on a date, right? Before you agreed. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, okay. What he not going to do is back about it this way. No. I was like, no, I'm fine. I'm okay. We don't got to go to Dave & Buster's. We can go to the mall. We can walk around. Because it's located in a mall, right? So I'm like, well, we could just walk around the mall. It's fine. Actually, I think this is where the second part of the video comes in. So I'm going to put that in right now. Ah, shit. Fuck. Ow, I stubbed my toe. Anyway. What was I saying? Help me out, y'all. Oh, okay. So I'm like... We could just walk around the mall or whatever. We ain't got to spend a whole bunch of money because it's inside of the mall. And then he's like, oh, okay. All right. And I'm like, so are you going to catch an Uber? Like, how are you going to get up to the spot? And he's like, oh, yeah, I'll probably have to catch a Lyft or something. And I'm like, well, call me when you leave out. And never got the call. I just ended up leaving out. Because I don't like being late. And I also kind of wanted to scope out, like, I don't know. I like to see my surroundings, you know, just in case. I don't know. I knew I wasn't gonna be by myself because it's a mall, but I just wanted to get there before him anyway. And I get there, I'm waiting about maybe 20 minutes. He said he was on. I had to call him. I'm like, where are you at? You didn't give me no ETA. And I see he's in the car. And he was like, oh, my cousin going to drop me off. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm outside waiting for him. Nothing really to tell there. He finally said he was on his way. And he's pulling up. So I'm looking, you know, in every direction. I'm like, please be the person I thought you were. Because I'm looking and it's some big, like, he wasn't ugly, but he was like some, you know, big, tall dude, dark skin. Didn't look nothing like the guy that I was supposed to meet. And I'm like, is that him? Because he looked down at his phone and he looked up at me like a few times. And I'm like, I'm like, wait. I'm like, no, it can't. I didn't get catfished, did I? I watched that show so much. I'd be like, I'd be damn if it ended up being me. But no, that wasn't him. So he pulls up. He gets out the car. He has a backpack for some reason. I don't know. I don't get guys that randomly just wear backpacks. Like, we're not in school anymore. I don't know. But I'm like, well, maybe he was going back to his other house after the date. And he just had some clothes for the weekend. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, we hug or whatever. I'm like, oh, nice to see you. You know, I was like, well, you look nice. He's like, oh, thank you. And mind you, we were on FaceTime earlier that day. And he's like, I don't know what to wear. He seemed kind of like he was into himself, you know? And that's why I don't really like to date certain guys that look a certain kind of way. Because they kind of stereotype to be very cocky, very arrogant. And like when I looked at his Instagram, it's a whole bunch of selfies. I'm like, you on there a little too much. I like my men very boring. Like maybe 10 pictures. Half of them are about sports. Like, I don't want you to be so into you that I end up meeting you everywhere and I'm there first because you was looking in the mirror for 30 minutes. Like, I don't know. And he ain't say nothing back. He ain't say I look nice and I damn sure look good. Like, I was cute. I wish I would have took a picture. But like, I was like, okay, so we don't have manners. All right. So we go in, we go through the Dave & Buster entrance, but we just walked to the mall part and we walked around and we talked. It was cool, just vibing. I'm like, well, what do you want to eat? Are you hungry? He's like, yeah, I'll probably go for some sushi. I'm like, oh, good. He likes sushi because most guys be like, oh, I don't want that uncooked fish. Like, I'm like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, like, to me, but I like that he was open-minded. And I'm like, well, I don't want no sushi. I'll probably just go get Chick-fil-A. So we go over to the sushi spot first because it was right there. We get his food. We waiting for them to, you know, make it because it takes a little bit of time. And then we walk down to the Chick-fil-A and I'm ordering it. And we run into some girl he knew. Awkward. Even more awkward. He didn't even introduce me. I was just standing there like, oh, okay. Guess I'll just go order my food because apparently I'm invisible all of a sudden. And it didn't seem flirty or anything, but I don't know his connection with her. And she had like a baby with her, I think. I'm like, as long as it ain't his baby, like, I'm okay, I guess. I'm like, well, all right. Maybe he just forgot I was here. Maybe he didn't know what to tell her. Like, I would have been like, oh, this is my friend that I'm here with, you know. Let me not be rude, but like I said, he probably didn't have no fucking manners anyway. So I'm ordering my food, and I'm thinking he gonna pay. He was still talking to the girl or whatever, so I guess he forgot to pay. It's totally fine. I just paid for my own food. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna classify it as a date then. We just hanging out. And we ain't gotta go to no fancy restaurant for it to be a date. We got regular court food. I ain't even drunk yet. This is just me. So I'm like, okay. And it took a few minutes for the food to get ready. So I'm just standing there watching him talk to her. And he don't even look over at me. She eventually ends the conversation and she go along her merry way. And he like, yeah, I knew I was gonna run into somebody I knew. I'm like, yeah, yep. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, that's kind of why I didn't want to go to a place closer to my house because I didn't want to run into nobody I knew either. So I went a little bit out. And I'm like, okay, you be over here enough to I know you be on the west side, but you be over here enough to apparently run into people as soon as we get here. So we get our food, we go sit down, we're talking. Conversation was cool. I felt like I asked more questions about him than he did about me, which was another red flag. It's like, I'm always prying into your life and asking you questions. It's like, you're not interested in... But he got interested when it became sexual, when we talked about... I don't even know how we got on the subject of sex, but... I think because I kind of sensed like a little aggression with him. Because I think he is a boxer or was a boxer. And like, I don't know, I could just kind of tell. And I think it was like, oh, I don't like aggression unless it's, you know, for sexual purposes or something. And then the conversation just kind of went that way. But it wasn't horrible or anything. But I was like, oh, now you interested. Now you wanna talk. Now you done woke up. So whatever, we eat. Yeah, we walk around some more. We run into somebody else he knew. It was a guy. But he still don't introduce me. I'm just like, did I put on my invisible shirt today? Dude, and I had a bright ass yellow shirt on. It ain't no way you gonna miss me, boo. Looking cute as ever. Standing right next to you. There's no way you gonna miss me. You know, I'm like, alright, I'm not gonna be like, hey, I'm Naima, like, because I don't even really know you, and I don't really know the people that you know. I don't know if I want them to know me. So I'm just stay over here, look at some stuff. I was just like, twice. We walk around some more. We don't buy nothing. We just walk in and out of stores that I like. I'm asking him more questions about him. We talking. He runs into another girl that he knew. But the girl was with someone older. I don't know if it was like her mom or her aunt or something. And she stops and says hello to me. And I was like, hello. And how are you? Because, you know, I thought I was invisible this whole day. You are looking great. You are looking fabulous, ma'am. The other girl don't say nothing to me. I don't think she did. Of course, he still don't introduce me. I'm just like, Lord, please. I'm so tired of being single. But I'm like, I'm not gonna keep looking over these red flags like they not red. Like that's my favorite color. Well, black is obviously one of my favorite colors, but you gonna notice a red flag, especially when it keep hitting you in the fucking face. And I'm like, let me just find somewhere else to go before he run into somebody who he probably don't want to see, and then I'm stuck there. I'm like, well, I'm glad you run into people that you like. He was like, I know, because I was like, yeah, but So we made our way to Dave & Buster's. I was trying to see like what he was going to say. Like, I don't really want to go in here, you know. But he ain't say nothing. He just followed me in there. I thought I had one of my cards on me, but I didn't. So I just paid for another card. It was like $35, I think. It was like 2 options cheaper than that, but I just wanted to make sure we had enough to play. And I'm thinking he gonna be like, oh no, I got it. No, he just stand there and watch me pay. Again. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, at least I got enough for the both of us. You know, I'm just thinking that in my head. So I start walking inside and I'm like, where'd he go? Why he not behind me? And he's at the cash register. And I'm like, what are you doing? I just got a card. He like, oh, you got the card? I'm like, you just saw me pay. And the cashier's like, yeah, she bought enough for both of y'all. Y'all should be good. And he's like, you know, putting his wallet back in his bag real quick. Okay, all right, thank you. I'm like, you could have tried harder. If you really wanted to pay, you would have paid. You could have tried so much harder. So I'm like, this is just not. So we played some games. I beat him pretty much at everything, which was a total turn off. Like, he definitely wasn't letting me win, y'all. He just sucked at it. And I don't know, I don't think most girls want the guy to beat them, but I do. Like, I don't want to see that. Like, if I'm playing basketball with you, I don't want to beat you every time. I think he beat me once. We played like air hockey. We played like Mario Kart. I don't know. I was just like, you're not a winner. You're not giving what I need you to give. But also, you know, I'm a big kid, so I'm kind of used to playing these games. And I'm like, a nigga who can't play basketball, that's what we not gonna do. I don't know what it is about it. I'm so attracted to tall guys that can play basketball. And that's the first thing I took him to. The big, tall, yellow one. What's it called? Super Shot? I don't know. Or is that the regular one? But it's the real big one. And he throwing the balls like he mad. I'm like, this is not boxing. You cannot. Do I still have the video? I might still have the video. Would it be petty for me to put that in here? Could I blur out his face? I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna put it in here. Maybe I'll put it on my Instagram. So yeah, I was like, yeah, no. But anyway, we were there for probably an hour. And I go to the bathroom. I come out. He's waiting for me. And this nigga give me the, oh, my dad asked me to come back to the house so I could watch my baby sister. I'm like, okay. The weird part wasn't that he was 35 with a little kid sister. The weird part was he was like, oh, you want to come back with me? And this is not the first time he tried to worm me back to his house. He already did that before, and I had to curve him like, I haven't even met you yet. No, I'm not coming to your house to watch Netflix. That is not a date. I can do that at my own house. Like, and I'm thinking by dating an older guy, they would know better, but apparently they don't, right? So I'm mad that the date had to be cut short. If that's what a date, whatever, had to be cut short. And I feel like it was a lie. I just feel like it was a lie. Cause I'm like, well, you were just at your dad's house, or he didn't know that you had a date. When he called you, you didn't say, hey, I'm out. I'm with a girl. I just met her. I can't leave. You can't get somebody else. Like, I feel like he ain't put up no fight. He ain't say shit. If the dad really did call him. And I'm like, well, you say that your sister is also at the house. Your adult sister is also at the house with one of her kids. And your kid is there too. So why can't she just watch the little girl? I'm confused. Why you gotta be there? And why I gotta come with you? He's like, oh no, because the kid's gonna be upstairs. We gonna be downstairs. They ain't even gonna be bothering us for real. Like, this can't be my life. I'm a good woman. I think I'm good. This can't be my life. I was like, this nigga was waiting for a way to worm us back to his house. You came all the way out here just to go back to your house? That don't make sense to me. So if somebody would have called me, as they have, and been like, hey, can you watch? I'm like, oh, I'm actually not home. I'm out. I'm not going to drop everything and just run. Unless you, A, not really feeling me, and that was your excuse to get out the date. But then why would you invite me back to your house again? Like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna just go home. And he's like, oh, you look mad. You look mad. Like, he keeps saying it. I'm like, well, how would you feel in this situation? You done played with me yesterday, and now today you pull this shit? Like, then I asked him, like, well, why can't your sister just watch the kid? And of course, he don't have no reason. I'm like, you a fucking liar. You just trying to get me back to your house. And I don't feel like getting murdered today. So I'm gonna just go home. So I'm getting in my car. Of course, he do the, oh, I can't get no hugs. So I give him one of them little one arm, little church hugs. And my arm look really good. I ain't really been, okay, little Rosie the Riveter. Yeah, anyway. So I give him a little fake hug because I'm mad. I'm mad right now. I'm irritated. I done spent all this money because you ain't want to pay for nothing. You ain't introduced me to nobody. The only thing this nigga did do was open the door for me. Shockingly, that is it. From then on, I was on my own. I could have just been out with my brother, pretty much. So I get in the car. I'm getting ready to go. And he's like, oh, can't you get a real hug? I'm like, you get a real hug when I get a real date. And I closed the door and I drove the fuck off. He starts blowing my phone up. I'm like, whatever, I'm not gonna pick up. And then he FaceTimes me because he loves the FaceTime. And I ain't pick up. I get to the light, like further down, and I look at my phone and he sends a message. And then he sends a voice message after that message and says, if you're not already gone. No, I'm getting that mixed up. It was a voice message and you can't see what it says unless you play it. And then the regular text message under it said, if you're not already gone. I was like, what? So I listened to the voice message, and it's like, I'm thinking he gonna apologize. I could have made a U-turn and came back. If it would have depended on what he said. Nigga. Yo, he said, hey, I was just wondering if you want to make a little bit of money taking me home for real. And then at the bottom was, if you ain't left already. I'm like, I was literally confused. Like, should I cry or laugh right now? I was so mad at the audacity of these niggas. 35 years old, I think, 32, 35, something like that. Too old to be acting like this. You only worried about coming home. You only worried about getting to your house. You don't give a damn about me. You never did. And that's okay. Because now I know who you are. I should have known it hours ago. This is exactly why I will no longer lower my standards and I'm not going to settle. I have a really good story about settling. I have yet to tell that story. I try to forget it. But I will no longer settle. If it look iffy, it's going to be iffy over there. I'm not picking it up. I'm not going to think he's going to change. I'm not going to benefit of the doubt. No. And I'm like, well, you got money to pay people to take you to and from, but you don't have money for a date? What? Is that what you telling me that? If I want to make a little bit of money. I'm like, I hope that his cousin left him out there to die. I hope his cousin I hope he's still out there right now, a week later. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So I go home, I block him on anything and everything. I forgot I didn't block him on Instagram. And when he liked one of my things, I was like, nope, block. And yeah, I haven't talked to him since. But yeah, that was my bad Tinder story, number 1, I guess. I haven't been on any other Tinder dates. But I'm guessing I probably will because, don't want to be single and whatnot. But I'm hoping they won't be so bad. Yo, it's rough out here. It's rough. If you found somebody, hold on to them tight. Love them. Squeeze them. Because these niggas ain't shit. I mean, some women might not be shit either, but I can't speak on that. But anyway, this video is long enough. I'm gonna go finish my glass and find me something to eat. But thank y'all for watching so much. Please like, subscribe. Y'all be watching, but y'all don't be subscribing. It's free. It's free. That's the least you could do. Leave a nice comment. Tell me about y'all experiences dating. Give me some suggestions. Follow on Instagram, TikTok when I'm on there, and Facebook. And I'm gonna keep my head up, y'all. I'm gonna see y'all later. Bye.